It was the poet Yeats who said, maybe what they say about war and war alarms is true. He was reflecting about the sounds and fury of war that was around him during the period he was writing. And this has been a sad week again in Israel, because the sound of war, and today we learn of troops moving into Gaza, is very much with us. And the Parashat itself reflects on war. In fact, the theme of much of the Parashat is about the nature of war. It's about the war, first of all, against the Midianites. Yidaber Hashem al Moshe lemor, beginning of chapter 31. God spoke to Moshe saying, Nekom nikmat b'nei Israel ma'et Midianim. Take vengeance against the Midianites. And much of the Parashat then is concerned and preoccupied with that war against the Midianites, taking the spoil, etc. It is also in there that we read about the first chaplain to war, which is Pinchas. Pinchas, our famous character from the last week's parasha, this time becomes the very first military chaplain. He is called Mashiach Milchama. And the other reflection on war is towards the end of the parasha, is when Moshe then instructs the people of Israel to prepare themselves for the conquest of the land of Canaan. And 2.5 tribes come to Moshe with a request that they can live in Transjordan. And this is where we get one of the psukim, one of the verses, which I think is timeless, and timeless in its application, in terms of its application for today. For when the tribes come, these 2.5, Reuven, Gad, and part of Manasseh, come to Moshe and say, we want to stay here in Transjordan. We've got lots of property, got lots of cattle. This is a much better area for them to be. We like the lifestyle over here. This is where we want to be. Moshe is horrified. He's outraged. He said, what do you mean? Everyone else is going to go and fight, and you're going to just sit here and have a nice cushy lifestyle back in suburbia? That's not what Jewish people do. That's not what people who are responsible do. And he utters those famous words, and he says to them, he says, will your brothers go out to war, and you will stand right over here? And I'm going to quote you the Hebrew. V'yomei Moshe livnei Gad v'livnei Reuven ha'achichem, your brothers yavo l'milchama, going to war, v'atem teshvu po, and you're going to just sit here? You have a responsibility. You're part of the Jewish people. These two messages, I think, are of such relevance to us this week. The first one was Tzoreret HaMidyanim, or Nakom Nikmat, take revenge against the Midianites. War is not something that we seek. But at the same time, if we are attacked, we have a right to defend ourselves, we have a responsibility to defend ourselves. And Israel's war against Gaza, where they showed incredible restraint and attempted to make a peace solution, attempted through diplomatic means to find peace, once that had failed, we have to go in there. Because no nation, as has been said time and time again, no nation, no country would tolerate rockets being fired at its civilian centers day after day. Secondly, there are the comments of Moshe. The comments of Moshe was, your brothers are going out there, you can't just sit idly by. And that's why we as a community here in Melbourne, as in Sydney, as in Johannesburg, as in New York, across the world, we just get together and show our solidarity with the people of Israel during these trying, difficult times. These are anxious times in Israel. These are times of where people's lives are being lost in Gaza, and we feel for the civilians of Gaza, whose own leaders will not provide them with protection, whose own leaders seem more concerned about winning points than saving the lives of their own citizens. I think we grieve for the loss of civilian life. No one wants to see that, neither on the enemy side nor on our side. But we also at the same time know that we have to be this is a time when we put aside our own differences and we support the people of Israel, we support the government, and we support the army of Israel, regardless of what our political persuasions are. We are behind them. The people of Israel at times like this, the country of Israel, the government of Israel, Medinat Israel, needs our support. So we put aside our different political ideologies, our concerns about should they be doing this, shouldn't they be doing this, and we say our brothers are going out to war, we cannot stand idly by. We will support them through prayer, we will support them financially, we will support them through our solidarity missions. And therefore, this Sunday, be sure that you're there as well at Princess Park to help in the solidarity meeting. We read, show your solidarity with Israel, Sunday the 20th of July from 11:30 a.m. May Israel soon be at peace. May peace be restored. May the rockets stop. May the sounds of the bombs soon be quieted. May we experience a period of lasting peace. Shabbat Shalom.